Hey y'all, so Queen's Court is back for season two. If you don't know what it is, it's a dating show that revolves around three celebrity women in a house with a bunch of guys, and they basically are all looking for love together. It comes on Peacock, and the last season had Tamar Braxton, Evelyn Lozada from Basketball Wives, and the singer Nivea. Nivea ended up walking away with nobody. She was kind of between two guys and ended up just leaving with nobody. Tamar left with JR, and if you know, her and JR's relationship has been very messy since the show. I don't know if they're even still together, but I know he was messing with her, then he was messing with Tommy, exposing Tamar. It was a mess. And then Evelyn was dating this guy named Levon, and they were engaged, but Evelyn ended up calling off the engagement. So now this season we have K Michelle, Lisa Ray, and Delicious from Flavor of Love. I'm interested to see them. I feel like all three of them have very interesting personalities. And I know K Michelle was with that dentist guy who she did marriage boot camp with, so I guess they broke up. So she's looking for love again. And then Delicious was with Raymond Santana from the Central Park Five, and they got a divorce. So now she's looking for love again. I don't know much about Lisa Ray's recent dating history, but I know that she was dating that like African king or African prince before, or she was married to him and he got caught cheating on her, but that was years ago. So I think they all have a lot of bad experiences with love in the public eye, like even K Michelle and Memphis Hits. Like I could go on and on. So it should be interesting. So let's see what the first episode gives. So there's going to be 22 guys fighting for their love, and Delicious wants to be referred to as her real name going forward, which is London. And the host of the show are Holly Robinson Pete and her husband Rodney. And like they said, they're not relationship experts, but they have been together for 29 years. So Lisa Ray basically said that she is lonely. Her girls are about to, be on their way to college, grown out of the house, and her mom just passed away. So while she does enjoy her space and want to be by herself in her home sometimes, she doesn't want to feel alone completely. So London said that she was ready to be married when she got married before. She wanted to be married to Raymond forever, but he left her. I honestly feel like it could have just partly been because, if you know the Central Park 5 story, he was in jail since he was a kid and then he got out. So Dream Delicious might have been like his dream girl or somebody he had a crush on, but a man who's been in jail all their life, like they want to go out there and experience the world. You know what I mean? He was in there since he was literally a teenager. So I just think that's probably what happened along with some other stuff. Hey, Michelle talking about she looking for somebody with a man bun, a mullet, a roughneck. So I guess she's still in her country theme, child. She want a cowboy. And her grandfather just passed. I guess he was a country man. So she said she wants a man with a farm. They don't make men like her granddaddy no more. So they let them know that they're gonna meet the first seven men. Okay, y'all. So these are the first seven guys, and they let them know that each woman needs to pick two dates, which will leave one of these guys without a date at the end of the night. My bad, y'all. I had said Lisa Ray was married to an African prince. She was married to the president of Turks and Caicos. Okay, so from the beginning, Lisa Ray is vibing with this guy, Booker, and London is vibing with this guy, Dr. Elam. So London chooses Dr. Elam as her first date. So when they first came in, Lisa Ray saw this guy and she was like, I think I know him, but I'm not sure. So now he's following her around the room and he's like, I'm kind of nervous to talk to her, but I know Lisa Ray. So they might have dated before. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, it's worse than I thought, y'all. This guy, Norman, used to date Lisa Ray's daughter. So Lisa Ray said Norman dated her daughter around 2011, and they showed a picture of him and her daughter years ago. And she said they're both playing it off like they don't know each other because they both were just like, "Hi, nice to meet you." So she was like, "If he ain't gonna say nothing, I guess I ain't gonna say nothing." So K Michelle was talking to this guy, and he started talking about how a woman needs to submit, and it's easier for a woman to submit to a man when he submits to God. And K Michelle was like, he don't even know me, and he already trying to take charge. I'm not really feeling him, and I guess he could tell because he got up and walked away and left her with the other two guys, which is Dr. Elam, and Norman. So Lisa Ray chooses Booker as her first date. So K Michelle was talking to Chris and Zach, and it seemed like Zach was standing out more to her in that conversation. So Delicious is talking with Chris and vibing with him, and she asks him to be her second date. But I'm kind of side eyeing him because he said he just got out of a 3-year relationship. It was long distance, but he was mad because the girl didn't really have no friends. So whenever they was together, she was spending all her time with him. If y'all long distance, shouldn't you want to spend all your time with her whenever y'all together? And Delicious was like, well, I'm not about to be going out in the streets hanging out with my girlfriends just because you need some boys time. And of course he lied and said okay, but clearly if that's the reason that his last relationship ended, it's not going to change. So K Michelle talked to Afam a little bit and she decided to take him on a date. And K Michelle chooses Zach as her second date. So right now the only two people left without dates are these two guys, and Lisa Ray is the only person left with an option. So I think this guy is gonna get the date because I doubt Lisa Ray is gonna go on a date with this guy who dated her daughter unless she just wants to get some one-on-one time with him to like interrogate him. So Lisa goes up to Norman and he's like, yeah, I don't have no date. And she's like, yeah, me and you got some stuff we need to talk about. So I'm taking you as my second date. So he's left with no date. Aw, that's what you get for coming in hot, telling these three grown women with more money than you that they need to submit. And you don't even know them. So in her confessional, Lisa Ray was like, I'm really not trying to blow up his spot. He did always seem like a nice guy, but I need to know in his own words what happened between him and my daughter. So the next morning, we see the three ladies talking, and Delicious just further explains what happened with her and Raymond's divorce. So when I said that he probably left her because he just got out of jail, I really meant the newfound fame that he had because of the When They See Us film. Because he had been out of jail for a while, because they had got exonerated a while before that movie came out. But that's what gave them the fame. And she said that she was the second wife that he just like upped and left, like just moved out one day and like never came back. And she said they haven't talked since the day he left. And like with his first wife, she went to work and he just left while she was at work and moved to the state of Georgia. And with her, it was like one day he just left the house and never came back. So K Michelle's dates and London's dates are going good. On London's date, Dr. Elam is definitely standing out more than Chris. So now we're seeing Lisa Ray date with Norman and Booker. And she's like, she's not nervous at all. She's about to control this conversation and she knows exactly what she wants to talk to Norman about. So on Kate Michelle's date, they're at the safari and Zach keeps calling the animals fools. And Kate Michelle was like, why do you keep saying that? And he was like, it's a term of endearment. Like, I would call my friends a fool. And she was like, no, that's not a term of endearment. And he kept saying it. Like, basically, Kay Michelle said that when she was abused, the word fool was used to demean her. So the word is actually triggering for her. Like, it's really not funny. And basically, she was like, he clearly can't control himself about saying the word fool. Because I keep telling him not to say it to the animals, and he keeps saying it. And he's saying he say that to his friends. If he fuck around and say that to me, it's going to be a problem. So Lisa Ray tells Booker and Norman that they're going to do some one-on-ones. And she asks Norman to go first. So her and Norman are talking. So Norman is talking about he didn't think that Lisa Ray would be here, but he do feel like she could fit his type. And Lisa Ray like, so do you make it a habit of dating a mother and a daughter? So Lisa Ray was like, well, my daughter said that you were living with somebody else at the same time that you were dating her and you weren't honest with her. He said that wasn't true. And he basically drops a bombshell on Lisa Ray and says that the reason him and Lisa Ray's daughter broke up is because she got pregnant and she didn't want to tell Lisa Ray because she didn't want to disappoint her. So he broke down crying and he was like, he really wanted the kid and it broke his heart that she gave up the kid because she didn't want to disappoint Lisa Ray and she got an abortion. But overall, it seemed like it was a healing conversation between them. He said that he really was holding that in for a long time and he was happy that he got it off his chest. And Lisa Ray was like, obviously it's not going to happen between us, but I totally understand your pain. And I hope that if you do have a connection with one of the other two ladies, that you go for it. So Delicious had Chris and Dr. Elam play best out of five shooting hoops. And Chris won. So she took him to the side for like a little solo date. So Lisa Ray is really liking Booker, and I guess Delicious is liking Chris, but something about him I don't like I said. So now K Michelle is talking to Zach. So K Michelle addressed how the word fool made her feel, and he was like he understood and he would try not to say it again, but like I said, I feel like he's still going to slip up and say it because it seemed like he can't help himself. It's just in his vocabulary. So K Michelle ends up asking Zach why he's single right now, and he basically said that he was with somebody that he thought he was going to be with for a very long time. It was the woman that he adopted his two children with, and she passed away from a car accident in 2015. So obviously they connected right there and just realized that they both got a lot of traumas. So I feel like they have a connection building. So London, Lisa, and Kay are meeting back up with Holly and Rodney to discuss the dates. So London says that she likes Dr. Elam a lot. He seems like he has his stuff together, whereas Chris is somebody that she normally wouldn't date. Like I said, something about him is off. Overall, I feel like Delicious is right when she says that she feels like Chris is probably insensitive, but right now she wants to keep him around because he makes her laugh and she's physically attracted to him. And K Michelle said how, at first she felt like Zach had a lot of red flags with the fool comment, but when she got to know him and talk to him and find out about him being a single father and everything, her impression of him changed and she realized that you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. K Michelle really liked Afam. She said she felt like he was like a really calming demeanor and spirit. She felt safe with him. He felt like an anchor, somebody who's just always there trying to make sure she's okay. So Lisa told them that she really likes Booker. And Holly's like, so what happened with you and Norman? And Lisa's like, okay, it's time for me to be honest. He's my daughter's ex-boyfriend. So, she explained everything that happened with her daughter that she got from Norman. And she broke down and she was like, he was very honest and he was very hurt. And I just needed to talk to him in private and give him the floor so I could find out what happened. So clearly everything her daughter told her about him living with another woman and cheating on her was a lie to cover up the fact that she had got pregnant and ended it and didn't want Lisa to know. And that's why they broke up. I kind of feel bad for Lisa's daughter, or I'm wondering, did she consent to this? Because this is like her medical information. First of all, it's just personal business that she might not want out there on TV about her. Like, now anybody in her life knows she had an AB for what. And then, like, I'm just thinking about HIPAA and stuff. Like, I don't know. And then they asked about the guy who didn't get the date, Bailey, and they were like, oh, yeah, the guy with the cape. He didn't have a lot of confidence in him. That's why he was doing so much with his outfit and the stuff that he was saying, because the confidence wasn't in him. So he was trying to make it be on him. So the three guys who got brought to the elimination dinner are Bailey, Norman, and Zach. So they get one more chance to mingle with the ladies, and then they'll make their final decision on who they're eliminating. So K. Michelle is still stuck on the fact that Zach called the animal a fool. And she's like, that just makes me worry about how he might be behind closed doors. So they all get in their little one-on-one time. Like, we saw Delicious talking to Norman. Now we see Delicious talking to Zach. And then we saw K. Michelle talking to Bailey. And everybody's vibing for the most part. So the ladies basically let Stephen Bailey know that he is not their king. And while they are, happy that he's a good man as far as raising his kids and stuff, they just didn't really feel any heart connection with him. So he is out. Zach is safe. Obviously, he has a connection with K. Michelle, and he also seems to have a connection building with Delicious. So Lisa Ray was like, Norman, I wanted you to stick around. I appreciate how honest you are. And I wanted you to see if you had a connection with any of the other two ladies. But you are not my king. But pretty much when they say that, they're speaking for all of them because they've clearly talked beforehand. So clearly K. Michelle and London didn't feel enough of a connection with him to want to fight for him to stay. So Norman and Bailey are out. Zach is safe. And Holly lets them know that tomorrow, which will be next week on episode 2, that they will be bringing in 6 new guys. So I'm going to see if y'all watching it and if y'all interacting with the review, and I'll see if I review it every week. But yeah, tune into it. It's on Peacock. See y'all later. Bye.